All right. All right, we're going into this coal drift mine here.
That's my location too, just in case. We got a bird station.
This will be just a minute to clear all this shale, and then it'll level out a little bit more. But this is a coal drift mine, one of them going back to about 1895. You see, that's one of the things where I came up here to specifically look for are some fossil remains in this old coal drift mine, because they're pretty plentiful right there. You can see that's part of a tree, or small tree maybe, with the ribbing of the tree skin. So anyway, all right, now the mine breaks left and right. We'll probably stick to the left, so the rest of the group is coming on in right there. Okay, the rest of the group is making their way from that direction forward. The drift mine splits to the right and right here to the left, and all these drift mines interconnect with one another. So some you can access, some you can't. Some you can go for a good ways underground. So but this was primarily to come up here and look for some old fossil remains. So that's really what we're doing in here. So, all right. And this mine has a pretty good abundance of fossil remains. So now we're gonna make our way here through this low overhang right here. This will connect with another drift mine right around here. So you can see the miners had a little stacked rock wall right there, and there's remains of a little wooden timber support holding up the rock wall. Okay, you can see there's not a lot of headroom here, but it's all right. And that's another stacked rock wall right there, and that's another haulage way. Just came back from this haulage way here. So, but the rest of the group is behind me, so I'm kind of the advanced party here. So, and like I said, this was primarily on this one mine, these, well, several mines, was to just look for some old fossil remains. So that's why a couple of people were joined in the party, because they're very knowledgeable, especially one gentleman. So, all right. And you can see there are fossil remains all over the ceilings of these mines. And these are remains of trees right there, the skin right there. So, oh, right there. Huge piece of wood right there. So, you know, the miners weren't concerned about fossil remains unless it was really something unique. But you know, what was on the ceiling has fallen down here on the ground. by itself, or the miners, and you can see the skin texture of the trees right there. So just various plant life and stuff that was crushed just above the coal seam, or what became the coal seam. So, all right, and we'll just push right down over here. And there's another sign area over here we'll check out, and then we're going to reverse course back to one of the main haulage ways. Okay, rest of the mining party is there. And, got the coal seam right there. More the fossil remains. Okay, came on down this other haulage way here in this series of drift mines, and it'll keep going if you want it to, but quite a few fossils everywhere. Right there. This should be just titled the fossil mine, and you can see the coal seam right there. And that is the ribbing right there of a tree, old fossilized tree. You can see the remains of it came from the ceiling there. So it's just plant life, everything prehistoric right there. So anyway, we'll head on back this way and rejoin the party, and we're going to check out another mine that has a lot of fossils in it. So, all right. Okay, this is the main haulage way slope right here. Okay. The coal seam is pretty thin, but the further down you go, the coal seam gets thicker. And you've got more fossilized remains here. And you can see at one time, this mine had electrical lines running through it with the insulator right there. That's early 1900s, maybe even 1915 or so. So here's your haulage way.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go down. I'm curious now to see where the blind leg is.
All right. Okay, Mr. Box is going to break off to the right. He's going to check out this side haulage way, and I'm going to wait on the rest of the party. Two more of them coming up. So that's a really old mine, late 1890s. So this is the main haulage way slope.
See that water pipe?
Yep. And Mr. Box is going to be breaking off to the right here on this right angled header. So, all right. Okay. We're on a down angle. Going down this slope. This was first started off as a drift mine. Then they turned it into a slope. And I think we're fixing to hit the water. Yep. we just hit the water. It is way up, man, way up. But there's a lot of fossil remains right here. You can see everywhere. Right there. Okay. Well, I'm gonna switch out lights because this water is probably up about 300 or 400 feet easy right there. So, wow, completely underwater. Okay, we have come on down here to the end. Water is really up, way up, 300-400 feet, maybe more. And the rest of the mine underneath is flooded. And it'll recede, but it's not going to recede for 6-7 months. But anyway, just past that support pillar starts the deep slope mine. So you can see the coal seam here. And of course, fossil remains are everywhere. So anyway, it's a good trip to come in here. But kind of as expected, we didn't realize the water would be up this high. This is really high. So, but, all right. This was actually a Manway entrance, as you can tell by the extreme overgrowth down at the bottom of this deep ravine was a Manway entrance for this big underground mine. And you gotta maneuver around here. But you can see right here that it's open. Now that's probably flooded down there, I would imagine. But this was a deep underground mine, and so this was a miner's manway and emergency exit right here. So, and they used to actually have steps going down into the mine. But anyway, very historic. This goes back to the early 1900s. So may try to go down there. It probably is flooded just past the light there, but we'll just check it out and see. Okay, just shining the light down there. Don't see any water. So got the underground mine maps to this, so we just don't know. You know, there's going to be water at some point somewhere down in here, but this was a major entrance and exit point for the miners in this big deep underground coal mine. And you can see it's basically just out in the jungle now. So okay, they were down there saying that the manway is closed. Collapsed down there, but back in the day, when this mine was open, there would have been steps going down into the mine from the manway. But it's a pretty big manway. It's rare to see a coal mine manway that's actually open. So it's pretty interesting. They're coming on out. You got to have a rope come on out because it's so slippery. So. All right, well, just a little side trip. We wanted to see if we could find this old section of this mine manway, and we did. Basically out here in the jungle. So, but back in the day, there would have been homes. All this would have been wide open. There was actually a bathhouse somewhere right over there. So this is how the miners would have come down into the Manway, come down into the mine. So, pretty interesting. Real historic, so. Okay, down here at the bottom, you see where it's, they probably, when they closed this thing off, they probably blew it from the inside because the Manway would keep going down. So it looks like they just blew the ceiling and it just collapsed in on the Manway because it would have gone probably another 80 feet down. So that's probably what they did, just sealed it off forever. But the cold air, well, you can really feel the cold air in here. But anyway, that's probably what they did. Instead of closing up this Manway, they just set off dynamite when they sealed this mine. But it is amazing the opening is still there. So anyway, neat little find. Like I said, you don't see Manway entrances to coal mines very often that are even the opening is still there. So, all right. Oh yeah, that's looking up. Oh, look at him. He's trying to grab that rope. I know what he's doing.
Yeah, reach for it.
Let's see you.
Reach for it. Reach for it.
All right, now I gotta climb back up this thing. Don't do it. Now that gentleman right there, he doesn't need a rope. He doesn't need anything.
I'm just good.
I hear you.